Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the very real and honestly sometimes surprising threats that humanity is facing from the cosmos. And we're basing this on a really fascinating interview with astrophysicist Professor Natan Easmont, who has spent his entire career studying these exact kinds of dangers. He kicks things off with an idea that really frames this whole conversation perfectly.
So, the professor starts with this pretty powerful thought. It's not that space is actively trying to kill us. It's that the universe just doesn't care, and our existence is this incredibly fragile thing, balanced on a knife's edge. It's a sobering thought, for sure, but it's a really crucial perspective to have as we go through this.
All right, so let's start with the dangers we're all familiar with, the kind of stuff you see in Hollywood disaster movies. We're talking about the big, obvious threats that keep astronomers up at night.
Yeah, killer asteroids. This is a big one. It's this constant low-level hum of anxiety for anyone working in planetary defense. We've had some pretty close calls with objects like Apophis, and there are always new ones being discovered, like 2024 YR4. It's a stark reminder that this isn't science fiction. It's a very real and constant possibility.
But here's the good news. We are not just sitting ducks waiting for an impact. Humanity actually has a pretty clear three-part strategy. First, we have to find them, and wow, that is a huge job, especially since we think 2/3 of them are still out there, completely undiscovered. Second, once we find one, we track it meticulously. And third, and this is the cool part, we have a plan to deflect them. And we know it works. That recent DART mission was an absolutely stunning success. It proved that we can physically ram a spacecraft into an asteroid and push it off its collision course.
Okay, so what about our very own sun? The thing that gives us all life on Earth, well, it can also throw a cosmic tantrum. A massive solar flare, something like the famous Carrington event back in 1859, could completely cripple our modern society, which is so dependent on electronics. I mean, a much smaller flare not too long ago caused a massive blackout across Canada. Imagine that on a global scale.
So how do we protect ourselves? Well, we have these amazing satellites positioned about 1.5 million kilometers away, sitting between us and the sun, acting as our lookouts. When they detect a dangerous burst of plasma hitting our way, they send us a warning. But here's the catch. That warning? It's only about 20 minutes. Just enough time, hopefully, to scramble and switch our most vital grids and electronics into a safe mode. It's not a lot of time.
Okay, so we've got strategies for asteroids, and we have at least a little bit of a warning system for solar flares. But when the expert, Professor Easmont, was asked what the single most serious danger is, well, his answer wasn't what you might expect at all.
For these classic threats, we've developed some concrete strategies, right? We're actively testing the technology to deflect asteroids, and we have warning systems in place for flares. We are, at least to some degree, prepared for them.
Professor Easmont, though, he points to a danger that's quieter, way more insidious, and one for which we currently have absolutely no defense plan. A threat that could just show up, with no warning at all.
And he doesn't mince words. In his expert opinion, this particular threat is bigger than all the others. It has the potential to cause a truly global catastrophe.
So what is it? What's his number one fear? The threat that really worries him? It's not a city-sized rock. It's not a blast of solar radiation. It's something microscopic. We are talking about alien organisms.
So why is this so terrifying? Well, any microbes that arrive from space would be what we call extremophiles, meaning they've been hardened by the vacuum of space and cosmic radiation. And we know this is possible. We have actually found Earth-based organisms that have survived on the outside of the International Space Station. But against a completely alien virus or bacteria, our immune systems, our entire planet's ecosystem would be utterly, completely defenseless. All right, so beyond these immediate threats, the universe has even bigger catastrophes planned for us. These are the kinds of unavoidable events that are already on the cosmic calendar, just ticking away on a timescale that is almost impossible to comprehend.
This timeline really puts it all into perspective. In about 1.5 million years, a passing star could literally send a devastating shower of comets right at us from the edge of our solar system. Then, in about 4 billion years, our own sun is going to expand into a red giant and just swallow the Earth. And right after that, our entire Milky Way galaxy is scheduled for a head-on collision with Andromeda.
Now here's the thing. These events are pretty much guaranteed to happen. But the timescale is just so immense that they aren't something we need to lose sleep over tomorrow, or the next day, or for many, many generations to come. They are cosmic certainties, but they are not immediate crises.
So faced with these immediate threats like microbes and asteroids and these huge long-term cosmic inevitabilities, what's the plan? What's the ultimate path for our survival? What's our species insurance policy?
Well, the path forward is actually pretty clear. Step 1. We have to continue our scientific research so we can see these threats coming, but the only true long-term solution is to become a multiplanetary species. Don't keep all of our eggs in one basket. That means starting with Mars and then eventually expanding even further out, maybe to the moons of Jupiter.
Ultimately, it all comes down to a really simple survival strategy. Our planet is beautiful and precious, but it also makes us a single point of failure. Spreading out into the solar system isn't some science fiction dream. It is the most logical insurance policy we could possibly have against extinction. It's how we make sure that no matter what the indifferent universe throws at this one planet, our species will survive.
So in the end, it all boils down to this one question. Our survival seems to be tied directly to our innate drive to explore, to learn, and to venture out into the unknown. We just have to hope that our scientific curiosity can keep us one step ahead of the next great cosmic threat. Thanks for joining us.